activated.
There's a place at the end of the
road. 2018 GSL Season 3 Rock Shear. The genius that was born again in the dawn has grown to be the king. But the battle is only about to begin. Take your opponents down, or you will fall down under their feet. There will be only glory for the winner and pain for the loser. Rise up, higher, ever higher, or fall forever. GSL Season 3. This is Rock Shear.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another day of the GSL Code S. I am Rapid. With me again is No Regret. In case you just couldn't get enough StarCraft with WCS Valencia going on, GSL is, of course, happening right now. We've got GSL versus the World coming up. There's a lot of StarCraft going on right now, Jake.
Yeah, lots of StarCraft, man. We're ready for this amazing GSL group coming up, too.
That's right. We do have another GSL group coming up and many more after that. But today's group is really special for a lot of different reasons, not the least of which is that MMA is back and he's in Code S again. It's been a long time since this guy was the best Terran in the world, but he's coming back to try again.
Yeah, it feels bad for MMA coming into a group of Hero and GuMiho.
Oh, yeah. How do you prepare for all that?
It's pretty hard to prepare for it, especially as a player coming back. I think you get into like a rhythm of what's standard, but GuMiho and Hero aren't. So
they definitely are not. They're kind of the weirdest, not the weirdest. We just saw Haz play yesterday, but some very strange styles coming up. Here's a look at the last group of the GSL, Group C. Of course, we had kind of this standard outcome with stats and innovation advancing, but definitely not in the standard way. And here's a look once again at today's group: GuMiho, MMA, Hero, and Solar.
Yeah, let's hope it's not a group of 2-0s.
You know, we did have a lot of 2-0s yesterday, but I don't think that'll be possible today, just given how erratic some of our players can be.
Yeah, I think even though Hero and GuMiho are very crazy players, I think everyone here is pretty close in skill, except for perhaps MMA, coming back from being away from the Army. I'm hoping he can show his best game. I mean, obviously he's improving really fast, qualifying for Code S. Really not that much time since he's been discharged from the Army, so...
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing goes for Parting, who we'll see in our next group coming up, but it's going to be, let's go ahead and head into a brief interview with our players. This is GuMiho. He was eliminated in the round of 32, and he's been the player that's been longest here in the GSL. So let's go ahead and hear from GuMiho. He says, "Hello, my name is GuMiho. I'm Terran. You know, last season I got eliminated, and I'm not really satisfied with my performance. So I'm really going to try to improve my game. So I really want to make it to the finals again. So please cheer for me." And now we are going to move on and hear from our next player. This guy is under a huge spotlight. He's coming back to GSL after going away from military service. This is MMA and he's back. He says, "Hello, I am Pro Gamer MMA." He says, you know, after I've been discharged from the Army, this is my first time back in GSL Code S. GSL is always a fierce tournament, so hopefully I can do well. Of course, a big fan sign in the audience, and probably a big fan as well. 9 consecutive Code S's for Hero, and then stopped in his tracks last season, eliminated by emotion. Hero is back. He says, I took a break for last season. Since I didn't make it to Codes last season, that's even more reason for me to do even better this season. So I'm going to try my best. So a very consistent player, a fixture, there we go, of GSL Codes. This is Spice Gaming's Solar. I think this is going to be a really tough day. But since this is the last season, I've practiced really, really hard. So I will do my best. Flew 10,000 miles to get here. Incredible. And it's great to hear from all of our players in their interviews. I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more from two of our players who will advance in the winners interview. But which two will it be? No regret.
I think we should have 4 interviews.
I mean, we just did kind of have 4 interviews, but yeah, I don't know about interviewing losing players. But for the winners, it will be a surprise, I think, to everyone. If you correctly predict, if you get your liquid bets right for this one, shout outs to you, because it will be very hard to predict. We have 4 very, very strong players. I think MMA, like you said, is a little bit of an underdog because nobody really knows what to expect, since we don't have a whole lot of players go away to the Army and then come back still at Codes level.
The one thing I think MMA has going for him is the fact that most people probably gonna be sleeping on him a little bit. Like, you're preparing for Hero, you're preparing for GuMiho, you're preparing for Solar. If they're, these top 3 players, you definitely want to be ready for them.
Yep.
And MMA kind of maybe can sneak through the cracks and prepare something really cool for the, his matches. So we'll have to see what he can do.
You really do have to respect everyone, not counting any player out. Least of all, this guy, GuMiho. He has just been a titan in GSL Codes champion, and 19 in a row. Like, how do you do that? We talk about Sue's consistency and making it to finals, which is just unprecedented. Well, it doesn't get much better than 19. Now, MMA, formerly the best Terran in the world. You can see his GSL championships up there at the top, and what a god to make it back to this level. It's just so exciting to see MMA back.
You know what is really cool to think about? Because MMA's finished his military service, if he comes back to the level he was, he literally has no obstacles for him being the best player in the world. So I really, really am cheering for him to become one of the best, because he won't be limited by how long he can be a pro gamer at this point.
Yeah, to become the best player in the world again, right?
Yes.
Because this guy was undisputedly just godlike. This is in the era of other godlike players, and he just towered over them. So it's so exciting to see him back. But can he deal with GuMiho, who is just on fire right now? GuMiho is a great representative of what it means to be so good at StarCraft, at Terran. He definitely has a style MMA might not be able to deal with.
At his own style, too. Like, it's incredible to see how good GuMiho is with pretty much his own playstyle.
Well, let's see how he does as we get into our first game of Group D, GuMiho versus MMA. Welcome on to Acid Plant for our first game. Down in the bottom right-hand corner in the blue, this is
Psystorm Gaming, GuMiho.
Of course, lots of GuMiho fans in the audience because he has just been such a long-standing fixture. The returning Terran to the GSL Codes. He is
MMA.
Yeah, I'm hoping he can get back to where he was. It would be an incredible story, especially coming out of this GSL group, which first GSL back, and you slay these 2 players, these 2 monsters, or 3 monsters, really. Like, he is clear underdog in this group.
Absolutely. It takes a very special player to leave for 2 years, come back, and still have fan signs in the audience, right? That's just a testament to how legendary this player is. Now, I've gotten a chance to cast some MMA lately, most recently I think in the Ballistics Brawl, and seeing him go through online tournaments. He's getting out there, he's competing, but he is a very standard player for the most part. MMA back in the day, he definitely had his own stylistic consistencies, but now he's coming back and just trying to play the best standard game that he can.
I think this comes down to the fact that he was away for so long. When you come back, you can't really prepare for everything. You can't really play all these different styles. You just don't have the time. So you have to kind of bring back your core, skill set back from Russia.
From Russia. You had to travel for one event in the world. I think you picked the right one, my man.
I'm glad he traveled all the way from Russia to say GSL is better than, what was it, FIFA?
But whatever else is going on, we're glad to have you here, and of course everybody else. Lots of world travelers there. And MMA, a little bit of a traveler himself. course, a god of not only Korean tournaments, but international tournaments. This guy has just gone everywhere and done everything. So we'll see what he can do today here. Nothing too non-standard until
Is that a factory?
until one day all of that changed. GuMiho is going to be mixing in a little bit something special.
He has a natural expansion, so it's quite interesting to proxy anything, really.
Yeah, this is the eco proxy, right?
Yeah, okay, he's bringing his SUV. That would make more sense. It would be a little bit crazy to proxy after, playing a normal game, essentially.
Yeah, and that's actually a nice pickoff of that early Marine. It'll give this Reaper a chance to sneak in and see pretty much everything, and especially seeing the production facilities built in the base, a very important piece of information early on. Unfortunately, he does lose the Reaper, so, I mean, what can you do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Reaper was pretty much destined to die, especially on this map. There's no jump spots in the main, so once you commit to the main, it's pretty much dead every time. Oh, this is cute.
He's coming back again.
I find it interesting that he built a bunker.
I think MMA is maybe misreading that. You can see early aggressive shenanigans. It's like, oh, well, there's something coming up behind this. Might be in trouble.
He's either misreading it or he's reading GuMiho specifically.
No,
It's
that's
like,
a good point.
It's like, GuMiho a little bit crazy sometimes.
GuMiho is absolutely the guy that can just show up with 8 Cyclones. You're like, well, where did they come from? I don't know.
If 8 Cyclones show up, MMA is probably calling hacks.
Well, right. I was being a little bit facetious, but the idea is better safe than sorry for MMA.
Yeah, we see a quick starport for MMA and a quick third from GuMiho. So these styles a little bit different. I think MMA should be the one who's less defensive overall, right? Like he's going for the quicker tech. He has more units, so there's really no necessity to have this bunker. But it's just out of safety. I mean, he doesn't know for sure.
Well, here come the first 2 of those 8 Cyclones I was talking about. A fixture of probably TVTs for many years to come. But for GuMiho to build them this way, along with that command center, does emphasize that he will be kind of the more defensive player, and MMA with that tech, with the Viking coming out for air superiority, should be the aggressor in this situation.
That was a very ambitious Reaper, by the way. That Reaper scout was like, oh, there's a Cyclone and a Reaper here.
I could get in.
I mean, it would be nice.
That would be nice. He's going to try it. Oh, so sad.
GuMiho's Reaper, not ambitious. If that was an MMA Reaper, it would have ran in there. It's like, oh, well, you only have 2 Cyclones, 10 Marines? Okay, I can get through that.
Of all the things that you can upgrade in StarCraft, why can't you upgrade Reaper jump packs? We need to see like the Macross Reapers, where they can just become a flying unit and zoom across everywhere.
As a Zerg player, that terrifies me. I would appreciate it if
I'll
you
be
did that.
hired any moment of the balance.
Please.
Probably not. It's some fun things to think about, but for the most part, we are still seeing that defensive play by GuMiho. His command center is just now finished, and it's going to be done ahead of schedule for MMA, but will it mine before his?
I like the scan. He's kind of making sure there's not Cloak Banshee or anything like that, because he doesn't know for sure. I actually thought that MMA's tech path would be Banshees. I think that made the most sense to me, but he's not going for a Banshee. He's playing more of a standard game. This drop might be able to do something. I'm not too sure if there's anything in the main right now. I don't think he's really expecting it.
Yeah, I don't actually see anything in the main, at least just looking at the mini-map. Okay, there we go. I guess that answers our question. But if he locks on and takes this one down, that would be a tragedy for MMA. No!
I think that call, he had to do that. If he was to drop it there, those 2 Cyclones are going to die 100%. He had a small chance that maybe the vision stops and he gets out.
Right.
That was pretty much the only thing he could have done when he committed to it.
I mean, that's along the lines of losing your first Oracle to a Widow Mine, right?
Oh, that's really bad.
You go for your first early aggressive play, and it just gets completely shut down. GuMiho, he's just doing what he does best. That tank is unfortunately not doing what it does best. Or maybe I guess that is what Siege tanks do best.
ZC's going to lift off soon, probably to take
and it's not a terrible position for it to be in. It's there in case anything gets dropped on top of it. Faster command center and faster to land and start mining for GuMiho, so he'll have the economic advantage. And now he really doesn't have to worry about anything super crazy after taking down that early drop.
I mean, GuMiho pretty much has the advantage in every aspect right now. He's got the army advantage, unless these Cyclones die off or something like that, but that would be insane.
Oh, but can GuMiho also get across the map and stop this third base from coming up? I mean, it's already landed. I'm glad he's hiding the rest of his Cyclones, so he can surprise both at the front and then also drop behind this in the main.
Oh, this Viking was misplaced. This Viking was supposed to scout this. Oh, he might get the stim right away?
Oh,
that would be nice.
Yeah. This has not been a good GSL for stims, and once again, Stim Pack will be denied, and if he also gets that refinery, barely unable to get that, but he gets the Viking, and that means he can get out.
So far, this hasn't been too much. I thought Stim obviously a huge deal, but realistically, that could have killed an infinite amount of SCVs.
Well, I think it still might. He's going to drop them on top of the tanks with the other Cyclones coming up the front. Now he actually is. Will he target down the command center or go for the tank? Yeah, he kills off another tank.
Oh, this is really, really bad for MMA. I don't think he can even come back after losing so many SCVs. And he loses the CC. Pretty much everything that is going wrong does go wrong.
Does he though?
Yeah, of course. It's 130 supply to 86, 70 workers to 52, 30 army to 60 army.
I just meant he's not going to lose the CC. So that stays up, but will it ever mine again? Only time will tell. This is just maybe too much damage. Oh, he's going to target down. Oh, man,
nice
he almost
pickup.
got that one. Might have been worth it to lose a Cyclone just to take down that drop, or the medevac, but you know, he does get out, and that's the big deal, right?
Yeah. I mean, keeping these Cyclones alive for the big push that's coming is really important. And he does get it anyways.
Okay, the long-term
the long game,
vision.
Yeah.
There we go. But here's the follow-up for GuMiho, rather. MMA, he just has shambles of an army. So much picked off over time, and here comes GuMiho looking to swing the hammer.
Yeah, I think MMA was playing too safely, too solidly, really. Like, he has to cut some corners, which is clearly what GuMiho did. Like, he cut some corners, got a really fast third CC, you know, didn't do any starports or anything like that. He just played a really fast, economic game.
And he also caught that early drop coming through,
Yeah.
which really just allowed him to cut corners even more. He's like, I don't know, a three-dimensional 90-degree angle instead of just two. It's an extra corner. But this is just really
go down again.
going to be basically impossible to come back from. No repair on the stim means it will die if he does even target it. Even still, this is just dealing so much damage. And GuMiho is consistently saving almost everything. He gets in, does damage, and then drops back out again.
Yeah, free two tanks.
Oh.
If it wasn't for the fact that this was his third base going down, like if MMA had some other third base, maybe he can come back from this position, but economically speaking, like it's pretty much impossible for him to come back without getting a third.
I think MMA only has one tank left, or maybe he has another one sieged at the natural, but
And his positioning here is going to hurt him a lot.
this is just maybe a little bit too much damage.
Yeah, GuMiho's just getting set up in a position that's pretty much unbreakable at this point. Oh, no, and there's no stim. He can't even really split or anything.
Oh, here he goes, pulling the boys, but it's not enough. GuMiho will take down MMA in game number 1 on Acid Plant. And I mean, if every game looks like that, GuMiho just looked fantastic.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the hardest opponents for MMA, though, to be fair. I think TVT specifically is a matchup that's very hard to, you know, come back from being really far away because the meta shifts so quickly. So hopefully he can, you know, adapt for game number 2 here against GuMiho.
That's right. Game number 2 will be on Dreamcatcher. It's you know, a map that Terrans are always going to be a big fan of just because they have so many blockers in the middle of the map, great siege tank spots. So if you do want to play that siege tank game, maybe this is the map to do it on. But for GuMiho, I don't even know if he'll give MMA the chance. He seems to just be a little bit too solid, greedy where he needs to be, aggressive where he does, and every part of that looks good for GuMiho today.
Yeah, I mean, GuMiho probably going to be the one to use the tanks efficiently on this map, to be honest. He's the one who uses tanks efficiently in every map.
Basically, every opportunity you give this guy is going to take that chance. Game number 2 is on Dreamcatcher. We'll see if MMA can come back or if GuMiho will take the first of maybe many 2-0s on to the winner's match. Find out.
Match 2, fight!
In the bottom right, in the blue, this is
Psystorm Gaming, GuMiho.
home team colors, matching their jackets. So what's in, I'll get into that later. In the upper left, in the red, this is
MMA.
It doesn't feel right saying MMA without Slayers before it.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. He built up his ID on that, really. His identity was with Slayers.
And then on Acer, as part of kind of the foreign scene, he just did so much in so many tournaments. Really kind of cemented that global legacy.
So many eras, too. I mean,
And that
really.
is actually a good point, because this guy is his career spanned expansions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, GuMiho's been in GSL for 19 seasons.
Yeah,
so-
GuMiho is also one of those players. You go back and you look at the beta and like early Wings of Liberty, these people were still around. GuMiho was a random player, I'm pretty sure back then.
He was. He was
yeah.
actually, I think, was he the last random player in GSL? I think
Probably.
so. And that's just kind of a testament to how, I guess he's always been able to figure out these crazy tiny things about every race, but specifically now Terran. He just plays a style unlike any other.
Yeah, I mean, I think random only has viability in the very beginning of a game because the game is so new that you can't really have any like permanent styles down yet. So you can pretty much play all 3 races efficiently. Hello.
Why, hello there. Thanks to everybody for coming down to watch today. It's good to be here with you all, and you picked a good day to come down, getting a chance to see MMA back, and I do hope that he will show some good performances today. I was looking up the stats ahead of time on Illegal Lack, and he did have, I think, a 5% chance to get out of the group today. That does, so you're just telling me there's a chance, right?
There is a chance.
You got to take everything you can get.
One thing I find interesting so far is we don't see any proxy Raxes from either player, and we kind of see respect of the proxy Raxes from both players. Like, they're both going Rax Factory, no really fast CCs. Like, some people get away with the CC Rax CC or something like that, or, Rax Factory. I guess now they're going into their CCs, but both are clearly respecting 2Rax as a viable strategy.
Yeah, you're exactly right. No regret. MMA using his Reaper back at home, keeping it defensively, and scouting for those proxies, which, aren't there, but still better safe than sorry. And, both games MMA has played that kind of defensive style.
I mean, look, both players are clearly respecting the ability to proxy in this matchup.
I love it. I remember watching... I forget which TVT series it was, but it was basically just proxies every single game. And while it may be a little bit less popular now than it used to, but yeah, either Maru, right? Maru.
Yeah, it could be Maru Kim or Maru.
Yeah, Maru Kim, of course, famous in his WCS Challenger series, I think, versus Scarlet for just proxying all the time.
Versus No Regret, slayed one of the best.
Also versus No Regret. But the other Maru, his most recent GSL title, just proxying over and over again.
We see MMA opting for a medevac again, so I'm wondering if he'll try it again. I'm surprised after how badly it went the first time that he'd go for it again.
Now look at what GuMiho is doing as well. He did go for a Starport, and he's getting a Raven out, so maybe both safe against proxies and against maybe Cloak Banshees coming through.
Blind Raven's just to respect something that you haven't scouted yet, which is what you're saying. So this is just to make sure that you don't die to any Cloak Banshees or anything like that. And you can actually utilize it later on in the game with the defensive matrix. No, that's rude.
Interference matrix.
Interference matrix, yeah.
Yeah, man, if you had D-Matrix here, that would just totally change things. Bring back science vessels, I'm telling you. This is going to be hopefully a different start to the game for MMA. Last time, his drop got both scouted and taken out.
Get scouted again.
Ooh, okay, so already one strike on this drop. We'll see if it gets taken out.
Please, don't commit.
Lock-on's going to come through, but he should be able to break line of sight before it goes down.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than last game already.
That is true. The silver lining. You're so optimistic, No Regret.
Yeah.
So MMA does save it, right? But it's still no damage done left to GuMiho, and I kind of use GuMiho as a little bit of like the Zerg player. The Terran just feels so much pressure to get damage done and harassment early, but MMA hasn't been able to do that. For GuMiho, he's powering up. He hasn't started his third CC yet, though.
I actually like MMA's position right now. He didn't do anything with the drop, but he's faster third CC, and GuMiho didn't get away with any crazy third CC this game like he did the first game. So economically, this is cute.
Oh, look at how does that even get there? I guess it will still die, though, but it does take out a couple of Marines, and this is the first big solid push from GuMiho, so we'll see if this can maybe punish that earlier command center timing.
I think MMA should have a tank out for this, so this should be fine for MMA, but there is a interference matrix, so...
Bunker coming down, maybe a little bit slow. Scouting Reaper from GuMiho does get into the main to see everything there, but with a tank now on the high ground. Actually pulling the mules up in the front, the rest of the SCVs coming down just to buy time for this bunker.
Preemptive too, I think. Actually, it's getting a lot of damage done. So far, this is going pretty good. I'm surprised we didn't use the interference matrix.
Yeah, that really would have locked down, especially the tank on the high ground. He might actually still go for it, just kind of burning a little bit of resources on the repair.
Well, he doesn't have enough energy anymore. What happened here?
Oh, no, he didn't rally his SCVs when he main-armed.
No. I think that was the Cyclone drop. Oh, yeah, here it is.
Okay, so he surrounded it and tried to push it back. No, he's going to lose the...
Oh, my God. He's saving both.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, he's so greedy. I can't even believe he went back in.
What a God. That is 1 HP.
Why would he ever do that?
He still got it.
I can't even believe it. My mind is blown.
What a God.
He's like, I've got 1 HP. Better save the last Cyclone.
Friendship rekindled with MMA. And now GuMiho has the next wave. It's an...
I really feel like MMA is doing a great job. I mean, he killed a lot of SCVs on the counter. He was fine. His third CC is finished. Look at how late GuMiho's third CC is.
Liberator pushed out almost immediately.
Yeah.
Auto turret denied. It only kills 3 SCVs with all of that.
If GuMiho's going like Bio 2, if his stim is way later than MMA's, I think, at this point.
Not only is it way later, but his command center is also way later.
He could get this if MMA's paying attention. Oh, we got the medevac. MMA, go! Come on.
Lock on, and boom
He's gonna
goes the
get
down. No!
What?
4 HP. There's
no
justice.
reason for that. That's not supposed to happen.
That's karma coming back to GuMiho. At least the Cyclones stay alive, right?
He got the medevac that MMA left at 1 HP, so.
If that medevac actually came back, got repaired, and was an MVP for this series, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah,
but it doesn't survive.
We need like a YouTube video for that, certainly.
Have to get SC2 highlights back in gear. But MMA's faster command center is now paying off, right? It's on position, should be mining here momentarily. No interference matrix, trades 1 for 1 on Cyclones.
I don't know how much energy that has, but I think it might be a waste anyways at this point.
Yeah, he would have needed maybe more to back it up. He's got another stealth marine between the rocks.
Yeah, map vision so far has been really nice for GuMiho. Okay.
Oh wow, catching another free scouting Cyclone.
The scouting Cyclone duo.
Last time it was between the rocks. This time
I mean, when you look at how much faster... Okay, MMA might get in this position first.
Oh wow, there's the interference
matrix
matrix coming up. Faster siege for GuMiho.
He needs to just back up now.
No, I agree with you, no regret. If MMA had gone for it, faster siege, he has more tanks, and he also could have preempted GuMiho's siege position, so he does pull back defensively.
I hope MMA gets a good scout on the fact that GuMiho's kind of powering up on Sky. Like, he has a better Sky. He's not necessarily powering up, but like that's clearly a weakness that MMA has. Like, he needs an army that can really contest the Sky army that GuMiho is getting, or has already.
Yep, air control does go to MMA. I thought he was going to like drop an auto turret there, but no, it just drops tanks instead. And I love that MMA is being active out on the map.
That looked like it wanted to go for the main, which could have been very risky, by the way. Interference matrix on these two, and like, good luck. Good luck.
High matrix and go! But he's not going to go just yet. MMA is not overcommitting here. Maybe this is a reaction to the success or lack of success of his early drops, not willing to overcommit.
I mean, he definitely should not. He's just kind of poking and prodding and seeing what the army composition is made of.
Go for this?
I think that's a bit risky. There was actually a pretty preemptive SCV pull there. I kind of wish he would go through the natural and the third area, like in between both. Their rocks are.
You mean like thread the needle right in between them?
Yeah.
That would be. You really gotta trust.
Yeah, but
in that
these
situation.
3 tanks are clearly overcommitted at the third base, and you could cut off the reinforcements between 2.
You know, maybe this is an illustration of MMA not knowing entirely how to read this situation. You're right. The tank count is maybe a little bit over committed to that third base. We'll see if MMA can realize it.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Ooh, that would have been scary. Cut his army in half or something.
How does killing one rock make the other rock fall down?
That's a very philosophical question, Rapid. I have no idea.
This is what happens when Dustin Browder leaves. But one of them does get taken out, and that'll open up a...
This was the position I was talking about, by the way. Where I thought would be very scary.
Oh, there's the IMHC coming down still. The anti-armor comes through.
I don't know why you would do that. Like, the anti-armor missile in this situation really isn't as good as the interference matrix for tanks, right? Like,
it's still going to cause MMA to pull back, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. He doesn't really need to, though. Like, there was nothing truly threatening MMA there. But, I mean, playing it safer, obviously, but I still think it would have been better. Interference matrix 4 tanks and then stim forward. I think you could probably kill his army.
I think, right? I don't know if MMA wants to pull all of his...
I mean, like, GuMiho could kill MMA.
Oh, he's going to catch 2 wayward missed rally point medevacs. And what are those guys doing?
Those are the Marines are supposed to be.
Those are Private Steve. They never made a movie called Saving Private Steve.
There's a spot in the natural? No, okay. Definitely don't. Okay, nice scan. Really nice scan.
Yeah, the pre-scan.
This is like one of those moves you just lose the game if you don't scan. Because like you boost in and you lose all of those medevacs or something like that. That's just game over.
I love how the mind game right now is killing off these proxy scouting Marines that are just positioned in weird places around the map. That's what both players are doing, just rotating around, killing off any chance at having their drops, their positioning revealed.
Yeah, I mean, vision and TVT is so important. Like, if you move out and your opponent's for some reason on the map or something, you can just lose to a base trade or something like that, so. Oh, that was very close.
Big timing here for GuMiho is +2 finishes.
These Marines were just forgotten here. I mean, it's like, what? What are these doing here?
Or for MMA. GuMiho's +2 is not finished yet, just to clarify that. So, Marine versus Marine, MMA is going to be ahead, but GuMiho has a very scary push arcing around, and it's going to catch more medevacs.
I really don't mind MMA's position, though. Oh my god, if he gets this really crazy surround, too. Oh, if he had interference matrix here.
Oh, I thought MMA was going to go for it. He is spreading, he's splitting, he's thinking about going in.
Oh my god,
His
GuMiho's
line
going
is
for it.
deeper, but there is the anti-armor missile coming
I don't know
through.
if this is a good fight for GuMiho.
I don't
He
know
lost
about
all
that
his
yet.
Marines, all of his support.
Is
He's losing his
Marines
Vikings, too.
Lose, that's that upgrade disadvantage. It's actually, I think, evened up there, so forget about that. But the bigger thing is the positioning. MMA
Oh my
had
god,
better.
I think he can just stim in and kill it now.
He's going to go from around
Why
the
didn't he
back
stim?
as well. The Marines are
Oh my
actually
God.
dwindling, but I think GuMiho might just lose it all. Oh, he has 4 reinforcements coming back from the back, though. 3 siege tanks, no Marine support. They all will get picked off. It's a crazy fight, but in the end, GuMiho's reinforcements might just prevail.
I really like this position from MMA. Really do. Defensively, it looks impeccable. There's a lot of medevacs still alive for GuMiho, though, so maybe as the game goes on, it would be better for GuMiho, especially if he just backs up. Obviously, he can't push forward, I don't think, at this point.
Yeah, I think he's committed. He had a good trade there for a while. It actually looked pretty bad until those reinforcements got there.
Yeah, I really thought MMA could take the fight even better. I think getting like his engagement could have been a bit better coordinated. Like I felt like he wasn't stimming early enough too. So, you know, simple things could have made that fight even more one-sided for MMA. But it started evening up when GuMiho's reinforcements kind of collected.
Expansion is coming down for both of our Terran players, but an extra one for GuMiho, already thinking about his 5th base for MMA.
Look at all the sensor towers just
As one.
everywhere.
Yeah. This is,
We killed our Marines. Let's just build sensor towers. The new Marines.
well, when you think about
Oh,
it,
no.
that might work a little bit better. Okay, this might get a little bit crazy. MMA out of position in the middle of the map, so GuMiho is going to go for one of these backstabs. This has been such a hallmark of GuMiho's play. The backstabs, the doom drops. Will be
MMA is going
effective.
for like just a counterattack though. I think this is even scarier than like this half kind of asked thing that he could just lose all of his counter bases here.
Pull out your pigeon memes. Is this a base race? I think it might just shape up for one.
I don't think either player can push into the other person's natural expansion.
Yeah, that would be a little bit of an overextension, but GuMiho has an extra command center. He might not have one for long, though, as he is both denied mining on his lower base,
Oh my
middle
God.
base dies, and he
This
takes
fight is
out
so
the other
important.
one. He's pulling the SCVs, and MMA just knows he has to clean up some of
I
these
think
tanks.
MMA is going to win this
Can
game.
he do
at
it? He
this
does
point.
clean up GuMiho's tanks and
Look
push
at
him
all
all
these
the way
bases are
back.
still here. He does not know about the bottom middle base though, I don't think. That's a huge base.
It is actually one of the last mining bases. GuMiho mined out his main almost. His natural kind of running
Oh
low.
my god. If MMA knew about this bottom middle base, this would be like his game. 100%.
But it's so risky to reposition if you move into a surprise tank position somewhere.
Oh my god. What is this?
Is this what GuMiho does best?
Okay, he just scanned the base. He knows about it now.
Okay, so now MMA knows what his next objective is. He has to kill this 6 o'clock location, but GuMiho, doom drops are his forte.
Yeah, but this is really good for MMA, I think. As long as he doesn't send the rest of his army here.
Oh, GuMiho might have his doom drop
Oh, the
scattered
army.
out in the middle of the
Oh,
map.
the army.
Is he going to see it? He does
sees
see it.
He sees it.
I mean, he saw it with the sensor tower, but now he knows exactly what it is. It might drop just,
Oh, no.
he's going to skip the carbon bomb, just go right into the main, right on
Oh
top
my
of
God.
MMA's production facilities. Is there any way that MMA can come home and save his base?
I think so. I think he needs to siege up on the bottom side of the map, actually. If he would have sieged up by the third base, he probably could have cleaned up all these Marines.
You free tanks, pick up, trying to
Oh my god, look at the
escape.
SCV saving the CC
Oh
from
my
dying.
god, that's so huge. Absolutely
Only
crucial.
2 workers. Only 2. He got a couple add-ons. That's fine, though.
How,
Really?
how do things look so apocalyptic and then only wind up in 2 worker
How did these
casualties?
3 Marines... Like... Okay. This could be a bit bad. It's going to catch 1 tank on the end. Yep.
But MMA does save his army. It's not overextended or out of position. He actually has a spot where he could either catch some of MMA's forces out on the map or maybe wrap around to that 6 o'clock as well.
Yeah, I really wish MMA would try to contest this bottom middle base because it's so essential right now. It's literally almost all of GuMiho's income, realistically.
Yeah, after losing those other 2 command centers at his 4th and 5th base, this 6 o'clock is the majority of GuMiho's mining.
He's
If this
listing
goes
his
down,
natural now.
MMA is going to take this game if he can take the 6.
The biggest thing is there's no real counter to these liberators here. Oh no.
I mean,
It's a scary
maybe
fight.
mass him underneath with better tank shots. He's going to go
don't like
for
this
it.
fight for MMA.
Oh, more Marines here for GuMiho. He's not even using most of them, respecting the tanks, knowing that the air advantage goes to GuMiho still.
Yeah, the air advantage is the biggest issue. I kind of wish MMA would just chill and just literally just chill. Like, he doesn't need to do this right now.
And he's up a base.
He needs to find a way to deal with these liberators efficiently, whether it be Thor's or whatever. I don't know if you can start winning the fight by going Vikings at this point. Oh, that was really nice. You just had a tank siege here. I'm pretty sure.
The random siege tank doing its job. The sensor towers have been completely taken out for GuMiho, so he's a lot blinder out on the map, if I can use that word. So he does need to get out there and get scouting information, because MMA, he will have better positioning overall the longer this goes on.
Yeah, and obviously positioning is so essential in TVT, really. Look at this this base is only running 8 and this one's 37. I think we got to do some simple math here.
Some quick math, dare I say. We talked about MMA's need to take the 6.
Oh my god.
GuMiho is actually going to move in here and try to deal damage
this
to the
gonna go
12.
MMA's way?
I think MMA has a better count on the ground.
Oh my
the
god.
Vikings taking air superiority, eliminating everything in the sky
Oh
for
my
GuMiho.
god.
GG. MMA takes the fight and takes his first game
How do you
back.
not smile? How? That is an insane game by MMA, honestly. He played so well throughout the entire game, in my opinion.
Dude, okay, maybe a little bit of a grin there. MMA deserves so many accolades. A win.
If this was me, I would be running around the stage, especially after coming back from military service. Like, that's insanely well-played game.
MMA, one of the rare players to have both a bright past and a bright future, and it's looking a little bit brighter after a win against GuMiho to tie up their series at 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be feeling pretty scared for GuMiho, honestly. This was actually his map pick, too, on top of that.
Oh,
So,
I guess that is right. Wow.
Yeah.
Taking GuMiho out on maybe a home turf?
definitely
MMA.
home turf. I think Dreamcatcher is a GuMiho map if I've ever seen one.
I mean, there's that MMA saying, you know, I guess it's not attributed to MMA. Form is temporary, class just permanent. This guy is a level up. We'll see if he can take it home in game number 3. This is on his 16-bit. The Terran god GuMiho is really cementing that spot in the top 4 Terrans out there, but will he drop to MMA? We'll find out in game 3.
Match 3, fight!
In the blue, this is
Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
corresponding in the bottom left-hand corner. In the upper right, in the red, former Slayers, Acer, Expert, one of the legends of StarCraft 2 history and future. This is
MMA.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to his future. It's clearly bright, I think. Especially if he's continuing and, like, he doesn't lose his passion. Clearly he hasn't lost it, you know? Like, a lot of people, when they leave, they don't have the same passion they had once before to come back and be the best they can be. So, really incredible to see him do so well.
I mean, it is such a daunting task, right? We've seen other Terran legends, MVP, Fantasy, both coming back to try to accomplish what this guy on your screen is accomplishing before your eyes.
I think Fantasy is actually one of the other players who's doing really well.
I think he was like one game away from qualifying, just so close.
Yeah, MVP I think is a huge gap though. Like some of these players left for what, 2 years, sure. MVP though, how many years has it been?
It's been just a while,
like
cool
5
minute.
maybe? I don't know the exact amount, but like 5 years? That's actually just like a different game.
I mean, it is.
You might as well
literally
be playing
a different game.
StarCraft 3 at this point.
Well,
I really, truly think that.
That's where his future truly shines. We'll get there eventually, but to just take a moment to zoom out a little bit, what an amazing time for StarCraft 2. We've got WCS Valencia. The games have been just absolutely fantastic. More viewers and players than ever, and we get to see returning legends like MMA. We get to see, I think, partying in the next group. It's just such a time to be alive.
One of the most interesting things if we're doing what we're doing right now is the level of play has never been this high ever in StarCraft 2, ever.
And you say that, and then there are players like Serral that exist, right? So dominant in WCS circuit. There are players like Maru here in WCS Korea that are just killing it. And so even though the level is higher than ever, you still have players that even still transcend that. And it's just so impressive to watch. MMA was that player back in his day.
There was an interesting thought experiment kind of thing where it was like, if you start playing StarCraft now, could you ever be at the same level as any of these players are? Could you ever be at the level of GuMiho, who's been playing for 8 years or whatever? And a lot of people just thought, no, you just can't. And then we see people like Raynor, who are 16 and just come out. I would say Raynor, if we put Raynor and GuMiho against each other, like I would give Raynor the edge almost. Like, it's actually insane how new players are doing so well, even though they've had so much less time than a lot of these players have.
It really is a testament. If you guys are out there laddering, you're never sure about what your goals are that you can reach realistically, the sky is truly the limit. I was watching some of our younger players, like you mentioned, even though they are not the pedigreed players like you see on your screen. Rainer made top 16, top 8 even, top 4 maybe. Clem, he's sitting on 3 chairs, but he's still making top 16 at WCS Valencia. And even some of our young players making it through TY, previously known as Babies, clocking in huge performances right and left. We'll see him a little bit later on.
To go into the game.
Yeah, let's actually talk about the game now.
From GuMiho, and I'm wondering if this is going to be a fast third again from the first game. I'm hoping that MMA can pick up on that, because he did get a scout off. I'm almost, I can't say for sure how certain I am, but I'm pretty sure this is quick third CC.
One hallmark of MMA's play has been not only that we had faster command center in game 2, not game 1. But has been kind of a defensive play style, really throwing up safety bunkers, going for a lot of safety scouting.
Okay,
here we go. Third time's the charm.
The trademarked MMA Cyclone drop at this point.
This has been a trademark. I think the other trademark is that it has not been going well.
I mean, it went okay the second game.
It truly did. Right.
And it did a lot of damage to the natural, I'm pretty sure. We didn't see it off camera. Like, when we came back, the natural was in shambles.
Now, there's no bunker this time for MMA, right?
Okay, this is a nice scout. This is the best thing about this is the scouting.
And he sees no bunker on the high ground. Oh, Nate catches everything and bounces 2 Marines to their untimely demise. On the other side, though, this is
counter damage here. This would be really good.
This is a lot to have in your base this early. Boys being pulled off the line. That's a lot of Cyclones.
Oh, man.
Marines being produced, but nothing out of the factory, or only a tank out of the factory.
GuMiho is way better here, too.
Oh, and he's actually going to be able to take down this Liberator. There it goes. And I don't know, this is looking kind of grim. So much damage being done. 12 SCVs.
The only thing MMA has going for him is the fact that he has a starport here.
He did cancel the command center, so that's investment that is not going to pay off, but look at the damage done. Resources kind of tell the tale.
It's somewhat close, 1,200 to 900, but the biggest thing is these minerals are SCVs, so...
Right, I mean, he's down 10 workers at this point. That is just such a big deal.
The third CC is slightly faster, or it's pretty much the same almost. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, okay, this is the tragedy.
Oh my god, that would have been devastating.
He's going to try to get some Sig Micro off there, but the relock on saves it again.
He can actually potentially take this fight.
Oh, Sig is control. He's going to try for it. Is he going to win?
He can win. He can win the fight. He does
what a god, MMA.
I'll get over there. Celebrating too early? Oh no, it's going to die. Drop it.
Oh, and boom goes the dynamite. So a little bit of an anticlimax at the end, but still MMA showing he still got it.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 Cyclones had to have had way less HP. I don't know exactly what it was because we don't have the health bars. But
they're there sometimes. There's a health bar.
Yeah, when you mouse over it. Okay. Is this a Vilo stream? I mean, that's the only other place I see a mouse or health bars like this. So. Yeah. So. I think the game is coming more up into a stable position. The faster third CC from GuMiho is going to be a little bit scary. So Orbital already finished, I think? Okay, no, he's starting it now.
Just now.
Like I said, the only real advantage MMA has is the fact that the starport's been finished for so much longer. We just see the starport being started, or halfway done now, for GuMiho. That's the only advantage, truly.
SCV coming along for the ride with the pushes, or the push coming out on the map for MMA.
Actually, does GuMiho have any siege tanks? I see the factory's I think it's being built on the tech lab right now.
Oh, that's right. So
if he has no tanks, this could actually be really scary for GuMiho.
Yeah, 0 a slightly smaller number than 3.
A very smaller number.
Infinitely so, one might say.
Infinitely.
Although that's a little bit theoretical if you want to get into it. Let's see about this timing. The third base is just now coming out for GuMiho, and there are no tanks. Exactly like you said, no regret.
Okay, this is what GuMiho has to do. He has to keep forcing MMA to siege up so he doesn't get into a position that would threaten the third base. MMA, I guess, not feeling comfortable unsieging. I really feel he should be leapfrogging right now. This
Absolutely.
Is the only time he has.
I mean, that is very APM intensive. You have to leapfrog. But the bypass, this could be very, very key. Getting this Liberator through the missile turret, stopping mining on a couple of patches down here.
I actually feel this favors MMA if you just go right up the ramp immediately.
Okay, I think he is going to take your advice, no regret.
Yes.
There's nothing on top of the ramp. There's one siege tank. Okay, just now sieging.
Actually, what he needs to do is lead tanks, I think, because the Marines are too low HP.
There's still no bunker on the high ground, no defensive fortifications, and this is a very exposed base on the other side as well. He's going to send the Marines up top.
He's leading with the tanks. Exactly what I said he should do.
Absolutely. GuMiho breaching into MMA space, and the same thing on the other side. Draws absolutely possible. I mean, there are Vikings in the sky for GuMiho. We'll see if that is what inevitably does keep that eventuality from happening. Siege Tanks
like
on the
this
high
bump
ground for
Okay,
MMA.
oh my god. The Vikings are dropped right now.
Factory getting taken out.
Oh, that's really nice. He hasn't lost any of the tanks yet. It's so crucial.
Even now, very low HP tank.
Oh,
Is
this
he going
tank-
to defend
stop.
back at home?
This tank, okay. He actually might. It's very close. This tank's actually cleaning up some
That is
Hellions.
absolutely almost MVP tank. How much
One
damage
Marauder,
do these
four
players do?
Marines.
They are very committed.
Yeah, the biggest thing here is the production. I mean, it's pretty much being stopped. Oh, 3 SCVs on the map. That's really nice. I think he needs to lift the CC. And just
Yeah,
like
maybe
leave.
lift the CCs
Actually,
and start to
I
move them
think
out.
MMA's going to win this game, baby. It's
Are you
very
kidding
close.
me?
It's very close. Like, I'm trying to think of how GuMiho wins. Oh, these two Liberators is actually really sick.
You know, we were talking in the makeup room
Oh, no.
to Korean
maybe
commentator
not.
JYP, and we asked him, "Who do you think's going to get out of the group?" And he says, "I always believe in MMA." And I was a little bit taken aback by that because he is new, he is coming out, but there's absolutely that chance.
There is a chance. Although, I really do love the Liberator decision from GuMiho. It's so strong in this situation. He's also lost his position in the main base of GuMiho, and I think that's due to also the Liberators.
I mean, if you look at worker counts, GuMiho has the vastly superior count there. But when you look at the army supply, even though it's even, MMA, I think he had so much of a chance to use his better.
Did he lose any production facilities? I feel like he had more factories before too.
GuMiho did lose a factory,
Okay,
but I think he might have lost one more as well. So here's that Liberator you're talking about, No Regret, really kicking in.
Yeah, the Liberator is probably the biggest thing that's stopping MMA from winning this game, I think. Economically speaking too, GuMiho's in a huge edge, but we'll have to see how GuMiho can play this out. I think both players still have an opportunity to win. I wouldn't say it's over yet, but there's cleared, I'd say an advantage for sure for GuMiho.
Man, losing any SCVs right now just hurts so much. No, Marine's gone but not forgotten. 12 HP,
Oh, no.
that feels so bad.
no.
And more economic damage
This is
from
pretty much
GuMiho.
all of his economy, to be honest.
Yeah, this is it. Beautiful play here. Landing the Vikings, they'll be able to come back up into the air. And I think 2-on-1, yeah, there's MMA's Lonely Viking.
This is heartbreaking. He was so close. Even if you look at the army supplies now, MMA still had an army, but economically, it's too much of a deficit, I think.
I think this is going to do it for MMA. He loses any hope of future air superiority. I mean, 3 SCVs at a time and mules are going to help him get
GuMiho's
back in
building
this
2
game.
command centers right now.
But right, GuMiho identified his advantage.
Yeah, I don't think he can come back from this. Like, you look at the army or the supply, you're like, holy, 50 supply difference. But really, look at the armies. It's only 2 difference in army supply.
And so it's going to be about how you use your army and what that supply is invested in. For MMA, it's tanks. It's
Yeah.
Marines on the ground. It's but for GuMiho, he has this Air Force, which might not look like a whole lot, but 2 Vikings versus 0, again, a very high advantage.
Infinitely high, you could say.
I feel like we've done this before. Deja vu, sandwiches, something like that. I don't know. We've got an economic lead, I feel like, is a little bit of an understatement, especially once these 2 command centers kick in.
You
for
feel
GuMiho.
MMA is kind of pushed to do what he's doing now, which is do something. Like,
Right.
he has to attack.
Anything.
And I think that this is kind of what GuMiho wants. GuMiho has the superior air army, so defensively he's going to be pretty much unbreakable, which really hurts for MMA. And look, you can see a Hellion run by here. This Hellion run by is going to be pretty much uncontested. 'Cause most of the army is out on the map.
GuMiho is unbreakable. MMA is Mr. Glass right now. Very fragile economically. And even this position out front, there's no Air Force for MMA
So,
at all.
3 tanks versus 5. I think you don't ever siege these tanks. I think you just go 5 unsieged tanks in that bio. That's pretty much the
Oh
only thing you
no,
have here.
GuMiho looking to swing the economic hammer and take out everything for MMA at this base. And ISCV is just being hemorrhaged, and I think MMA knows
Completely
this is it.
uncontested, like I said, because of the counter attack here. So I don't see how he can ever go back to this position. If you can even clean this up.
Oh, those are all dead Marines, and now landing the Vikings to clean up those Hellions back at home. But critical damage has been done.
Yeah. There's not much to talk about here. These 5 tanks. If you unsiege and go home, it is like throwing in the towel, I think.
I think it is. And to throw in the towel against the Towel Terran, how truly over might this just be? GuMiho,
these
yeah, this
Vikings
is
go for the
MMA. He
counterattack
realizes he is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Both of those are GuMiho.
I'm very impressed he hasn't GG'd. Maybe he's picking that up from Fantasy.
There we go. GG at the end. GuMiho closes out the series. A 2-1 win over MMA, but a very close one at that.
Yeah, I kind of feel for anybody who's going to losers bracket now. MMA clearly you know, not in a bad position or shape at all.
Absolutely not. We just got through our previous Group C saying, well, there are players who are underdogs, but even they are looking good. Same situation here. MMA, you know, he's still got a lot of that old spark. A lot of his medevac micro is very impeccable. Had some sick situations where he's saving Cyclones inside of those, but in the end, the pedigree of 19, or almost 19, yeah, there we go, does survive. Let's head out to a quick commercial break. We'll be back with Hero versus Solar.
Without a sound, and the end so